Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our board meeting. And Mr. Weber, if we can have a roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Fallis? Mr. Smith? Mr. Sturgill?
Here.
And Mr. Williams?
Here. Mr. Smith and Mr. Fallis did notify us that they would be absent today, but we have a quorum, so we will move forward. Pledge of Allegiance, Dr. Hall.
Superintendent Mr. Tucker, Treasurer Mr. Weber, Board President Mr. Williams, and distinguished board members. Tonight we have a student from Credit Recovery who will lead a Pledge of Allegiance. Jaden Jackson resides with her aunt Maria Murphy, and is a member of the Credit Recovery Academic Student Leadership Council. After the pledge, she will speak on student individuality. Mrs. Nicole Davis and Mr. Newsom from Credit Recovery Academy is here tonight to support her student. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, board members, Superintendent Tucker, and distinguished guests. My name is Jaden Jackson. I'm currently a senior at Credit Recovery Academy. After graduation, I plan to attend college and go into social work or the medical field. This evening, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of student individuality. As teens, we often feel that we are confronted with so many rules and restrictions that we cannot express our individuality. We have rules at home, in our community, at work, in our daily lives, and in school. Often we feel that the rules are a way of controlling us because of the exposure from social media. We feel somewhat confused. Social media allows us to do anything and say whatever's on our minds. Because social media allows us to become anonymous and without restrictions, we feel that it celebrates our individuality. At Credit Recovery Academy, Ms. Davis and Mr. Newsom and our teachers always warn us that everything we put on social media is permanent and can be interpreted by the reader in any way that they want to interpret it. To avoid the confusion that we as teenagers feel at CRA, we are encouraged to express our daily selves in our weekly community meetings and in our classroom discussions. Although staff at Credit Recovery Academy is very serious about respect and understanding the rules and restrictions that we have at CRA, the fact that they appreciate who we are as individuals is important to us. At CRA, we celebrate our individuality and work together as a family to make everyone feel like amazing all-star. I would like to thank CRA for the opportunities that they feel have given me today to be who I am as Jaden Jackson. Thank you.
Thank you. We'd like to thank you and your aunt as well for sending you to Lorain City Schools, and thank you again. Turn it back over to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'd have our first recognition of our first public hearing. There will be a second public hearing, but if anyone would like to address the board at this time, we would extend the opportunity.
You said that first hearing of public. First hearing of the public.
What did I say?
First
That's
public hearing.
Oh,
Hey, Jim, relax.
hearing of the public hearing.
Just kidding.
I'm sorry. May I have a motion to approve or amend the signed minutes from the regular meeting held on August 18th, 2014?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Roll call, or discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes. Is there any old business for discussion, gentlemen? This time we'll move forward with the report and recommendations of the treasurer. Mr. Weber.
Light docket today, just a couple of donations from the Aztec Steel and the Lorain Walmart. So I recommend for approval item A. A
Motion
and
to-
B.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
That's it, thank you.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Tucker, report recommendations of the superintendent.
Personnel matters, item 1, A, B, and C are discontinuances, retirements, or resignations for all three staff support groups. Item 2, consider of new appointments. We have some substitutes under certified and a number of subs and intern folks for our support staff B. And also C, our athletic production workers. It's that time of the season to get all the production workers for our sports in place. Item 3, following support staff have been called back from reduction in force. This was due to a retirement, so I believe they're all back now. Item 4, the weekly or monthly approval of leave of absences as listed. Item 5, supplemental contracts. These are the final football ones for certified, non-certified staff. Item 6, a job description for a payroll benefits coordinator position. You approved one earlier, but there's a few minor adjustments that the treasurer has to make. Item 7, renewal of administrative limited contracts. You did approve these in the spring, but with the agreement of the LAA contract, they were reduced from 260 to 230 days, so we issued new contracts because they were different. So I ask for approval of personnel matters A, items 1 through 7.
Motion to approve items 1 through 7.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia?
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Under operation matters B, item 8, this is the annual approval of resolution for transportation in lieu, and the resolution, if you read it, explains what it is, and the next is a list of the students that qualify for that. Approval of item 9, resolution for educational alternative for transportation students of some special needs. This is a program that we send some students to, a few students to, and we pay for their transportation to that program. Item 10, approval of a contract for Edmonton. This is for services delivered. This is part of our Plato software for credit recovery. That's part of their curriculum. Item 11, consider of contract with Teaching Strategies. And this is for the online reporting and assessment software for preschool staff, which we have to do by state requirement. Item 12, approval of a contract to provide professional development for our media clerks. As you know, we brought them back last year, and we're doing a lot of professional development so they can work on the reading. Item 13, approval of a contract with National Theater for Children. This is free assemblies for the energy conservation for our students. Item 14, approval of a contract for Chief 3000. What this is, it's training and software for New Beginnings Academy for those students. And item 15 is a contract for approval of Lorain Community College for parent engagement programming. This is the Lorain County Connect program with Tim Howard that we help pay for, where we train our parents and also provide computers for them so they can access a lot of their students. So can I put them all together? Operation Matters B, item 8 through 15, or not?
No, exclude
College.
15.
Okay, so approve matters 8, B, 8 through 14.
Motion to approve 8 through 14.
Second.
No, sir. Just a moment, please. Discussion? Roll call, please.
I just have one. I always got to ask us about the transportation. I know that it said last year that it was not to exceed $300 reimbursement, and I do apologize. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But is in that case, I know it's charter schools and private school kids and kids that aren't necessarily our kids, but at the end of the day, is that potentially create a deficit for us?
Well, is it 250 or 300? The state sets the amount.
It's like 267.
Yep. Yep. And it's for there's so few students going to these buildings that to run a bus out to them would be so cost prohibitive. I mean, if it was 60 students or 50 students going to these schools, yes, we could do it. But a lot of times it's 5, 10 students. What's the total number we're transporting this? Well, I see here.
Yeah. And you can get that. I mean, you don't have to get it to me now. I thought about that, and I should have asked a question prior to the meeting, but I just neglected to, and that always bothers me, because the law is the law, and it is what it is, but, all right.
It's like there's about 102 students times 265.
And that's the same thing where we have students coming into this district, they have to be transported in.
That's correct.
It's just kind of the,
Right.
yeah, but it.
We
can-
just have a lot
We have
more.
we have a larger volume than
That's
many.
apples and oranges, you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Could we call the motion on roll call, please?
Items 8 through 14, Mr. Demakia.
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have to put item 15 up till we have another board member here, and there's no rush on that.
I didn't
Okay.
think about that.
Because it's the Lorain County Connect is what it is, that program, which we've been doing for a number of years.
Mhm. It's a great program.
It is a terrific program. And item 16, approval of adoption of Hispanic Heritage Month. This is from September 15th, October 15th, so we support that. So ask for approval of item 16, other matters.
Motion to approve item 16.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia.
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
That concludes my recommendations.
Thank you. And the gentleman had a question. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I looked up online at Plato software.
Mhm.
Is that going in just straight into the credit recovery section of the school? Or is it gonna be open up to all of the students?
We have that in a number of locations. This year, it's at New Beginnings, it's at Credit Recovery, it is at the high school. It's available at the high school, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. This time, I think, where are we at? New business?
New business.
Not much new business, but what I would like to do is, let's see, is this our first meeting since?
Yes.
Yeah, so first, congratulations on an excellent kickoff to school. Of course, we got a wonderful presentation at the Joint Academic Distress Meeting, but this is our first official meeting, and so that was great news to hear. Sometimes when you don't hear anything, it's good news, because when there's disasters on the first day, we hear them. But all we heard were real positive things about the kickoff to the school year. Also, congratulations to all of our sports teams and cheerleaders and
Great,
all those.
great,
Yeah.
great win over Elyria the other night.
Great win.
Yeah,
That was just
I-
embarrassing for Elyria. a little
I was
bit.
going to bring my Elyria high hat that I had. I'm an Elyria alum, and I had on my Titans gear, of course. But as I walked over to see some of my friends and relatives who they got me, but they got a nice camouflage hat, and the E you could barely see; it was lost in there. But no, we had a great showing, and I kind of wish that the game wouldn't have. We got to play on Saturday, because it would have been like we got to beat Elyria twice, because we beat them. They knew they had lost on Friday night, and if we could have came back just to play those 3 minutes, score that last touchdown, it would have been like winning 2 games, But no, that was congratulations to our team and all the fall sports. Of course, my daughter's a volleyball player, so I've been going to lots of volleyball games. And what other fall sports do we have? Is it volleyball? And I didn't want to mess up and miss something.
Bowling's still coming up also, kind of this later this fall.
Okay, good. And so again, to all of our students, welcome back, and good start, and keep up the good work. Any other comments, gentlemen? This is kind of into our committee reports and requests.
Just, reiterate our last meeting, we all got together. I thought that was a real good meeting with the Ohio Department of Education and the commission, as well as ourselves. And I think Mr. Tucker did a wonderful job with this presentation. And I think all in all, of course, you look at the report and you see things that you may not like, but I think all in all, it's a very positive, major step for this district. And I think we all know, everyone that sits at this table knows that we're moving in the right direction. And the staff is doing a wonderful job in this district, and we just got to keep moving forward. And I think, Dr. Richards said it best. We're getting ready to turn the corner and move in a different direction. And hopefully everybody saw. A lot of people made comments to me in the public about how positive the article was in the newspaper, and that's a big positive for this district, because everybody's looking, and the perception is that we're a tough challenge district with a lot of issues, but that's not really the case. And we all know that, sitting in the front and seeing what goes on in our classroom and watching our people work. And it's just amazing, some of the things that we have going on in this district. And, I think the state of Ohio is recognizing that as well. So I just want to commend, Mr. Tucker and, his staff on doing a wonderful job, and also Mr. Weber as well. Although we didn't get that award,
Well, but when the OD says that, that a district that's been in financial distress, on the verge of financial, of fiscal emergency, says that we look to be in a good position, and some of the findings were
Yeah.
very strong, positive towards our fiscal management. That's always good news when you know you're only one levy or one incident or one cut away from disaster. I mean,
I tell people all the time, we got probably the best treasurer in the state of Ohio. I believe that. I really do. He does a great job.
okay, and also again, at that meeting, it was a wonderful show of support from within the district. Teachers, administrators, city people, you know, the mayor came in. And from my conversations after the meeting and since that with some of the ODE or the commission folks, that was significant, because part of what they're looking at in terms of a culture, and where they thought it was a district in isolation and a lot of other things, seeing that support that's very broad-based is, that's always a positive. So we're kind of all on this boat together, and you know, so it's not such a bad place to be. At this time, we would entertain a second hearing of the public. If there's anyone who would like to address the board, we would welcome you at this time. If not, we will be going into, executive session?
As soon as he gets here, he should be here by 7.
It'll be for item,
Think you can talk for the next 10 minutes?
nah.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Just
right.
kidding.
For item D. The one thing that I think we can do, gentlemen, is I think what we're going to be coming out of the meeting, we need to set another meeting. Our regular board meeting is for the 22nd, I believe. And it's been brought to my attention that we have some obligations that are time sensitive, and one of the dates is, I think, September the 18th. So we have to have a meeting on or before September 18th to address that matter. I will be out of town on the Thursday and the Friday, so I can say probably the Thursday might be the best date.
Ooh.
And the question would be is, would we be able to have our agendas prepared?
Yes, I won't be here. I have to go present for APQC, and Monday night's a commission meeting, and then I leave the next day, and I won't be back till Friday morning. But Alena will be able to do that, and Dr. Hall can sit in for me, because you're just gonna be.
Let's do a midnight meeting after the
One
commission.
item. Yeah,
Let's do a midnight meeting after the commission.
I'll be here.
Because they should be getting done by then.
The 18th is a Thursday. You
Right,
said you
and
will
I will
not
not be here.
Okay, okay.
So
Yeah.
I think that
I won't be here the 18th either.
okay, so moving forward, what about the 16th, the Wednesday
That's Tuesday.
or Tuesday? What's the Wednesday on?
17th.
Okay, 17th of Wednesday?
Wednesday's probably good for me.
That'll be bad for me also, but it's just that crazy week. But again, we'll have 4 members present if you guys can be here on that date. What I will do is I will send an email out, or you can do that, Mr. Weber, just getting some response from the other 2 board members. And then we would set that special meeting. We could set that to be as soon as possible. Mitch is the furthest out in terms of work in Sandusky, so probably like 5 o'clock or something. And we could expedite that business quickly on that Wednesday. And I can be here actually at the 5 o'clock, so.
Make sure we had item 15 on there as well.
Right, so item 15 will be back on the agenda.
Yep.
And,
Just one item.
yeah. So do we need to formally motion to table item 15? Because we didn't,
It's not on the.
oh, we didn't even make
We
it,
didn't
make a
even-
motion.
I took it off.
Fantastic.
So we didn't even make the agenda.
Okay. No, I was talking about the 1 week's.
Community college one.
Community
Oh,
college.
that one can be on there also. Yes,
Okay.
community college, yeah. Right.
I didn't know if we need to formally table that.
Yeah, you probably should.
So may I have a motion to table, what was it, item 15?
Motion to table item 15.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Demakia,
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill,
Yes.
and Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll put it on for next agenda.
So just for the public, our next regular scheduled board meeting is September 22nd, 6:30 PM here. And for your information, there will be a posting of a special board meeting, date TBA, and we'll go forward from there. So I need a motion to go into executive session for item D.
Motion going into executive session for item D.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Demakia,
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes. So we will make no decisions coming out of this, so thank you for attending, and our executive session will be here. So.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.